comes in a bit to the wood. Just coming out of the carrots, look. It's got to come right up and against the edge there, really. A roe doe out there. Two roe does. Must have just dropped down into the wheelings. Well, it's not here anymore. I must have just run up the wheelings and got away from us. Just got out of the truck and we were going to do the introductory piece to camera, but I just wanted to have a look on this carrot field first before we did that. It was a good job we did, because there was a little young muntjac buck just coming in off the carrots into the wood behind us. It's just after 5:30 on the sort of 20th of May, and I've just come back from a couple of weeks away on holiday and surprised that we can still see the muntjac quite well, but it's only going to be another week or so and then the cover's going to come right up and they're going to be more difficult to find. So I thought this morning we'd just concentrate on muntjac, and we can maybe take a cull roebuck if we see a really bad one, but we'll probably leave those for clients. So anyway, we've got one down, which is a good start. We'll go and have a look and then we'll head on somewhere else before it gets too light. We can maybe have a cull in a couple of woodlands, see if we can get anything into the cull as well. So we just walked up to that first little muntjac we shot. It's a young buck. Just see it's growing its first set of antlers. Just pulled a couple of carrots up out of the field, so they're about 3 inches of carrot now. And these are these big rolls of plastic that go on the carrots early to sort of act like a little greenhouse. They came off, I don't know, probably last week or something. So obviously the carrots are susceptible to the deer damage now, so every one we can take off is a few carrots saved. Keep going, find another one. It's down, it's just run 20 yards to the left. Just give it a couple of minutes, then we'll go and have a look. Okay. So another young muntjac buck, but this one's, well, probably a 3-year-old or something, small body 3-year-old. Obviously you can see it's growing its antlers back in velvet. The velvet on a muntjac is a little bit different to the others. It's quite sort of leathery and not very velvety compared to the other deer. So it's a good shot, halfway up the body, just behind the shoulder. Jumped around a lot. I thought the shot was a little bit low to start with, but no, spot on, halfway up the body. So ran 20 metres or so and then expired. So it's number 2 for the morning. We'll keep going and see if we can get another one while they're out and about. So at the moment, obviously something might pop up at any time with a muntjac, just come out of this hedgerow or whatever, but I'm not really stalking, which is why I'm sort of just wandering randomly 20 yards out from the hedge, obviously not being very discreet, but just getting from one place to the next, and then we start stalking again, make a bit more of an effort. So you can see as we look across that field back towards the trees there, there's like a stripe in the crop where there's like a high bit and a low bit, and because we're on the Breckland, which is basically sandy soil, that's where you get sandbars within the field. So obviously you get different temperatures, and then you get that striped effect called Breckland stripe. Got 2 roe deer over there in the crop. One of them's a young buck, the one that's on the right, and then there's another one with its head down just behind to the left in the crop. I think the other one's a doe, probably twins from last year. They're on their own now because the mums are generally on their own, because they'll be having their kids any time now, really. So we'll leave them to it, keep going. Got another nice young roebuck in front of us. I don't know if you guys can see, but he's in summer coat, and the younger ones change their coat first. But he looks like a nice 4 small 6-pointer with quite a nice spread to his antlers. When we did our roebuck calling video, one of the days we called up a roebuck really close in this wood, so it might be the same one that we then left. So for us, that's a really nice young one. Got a real nice spread on him. The bucks in East Anglia generally have antlers that are quite close together. He's just running off now, barking at us. Yeah, the East Anglian bucks' antlers are usually really close together. So over the years we try and leave any that have got any width to them at all. He's got a little 6 points. The points aren't very big, but hopefully they'll get a bit more defined as he gets older. But generally when you're looking at him there, you can see a very slender body on him, thin neck, small shoulders, so it tells you it's a young one. We've got another 2 roe over there, the other side of the field. We've got a doe on the left and then a young buck on the right. And this roebuck we were just looking at is making a real nuisance of himself now, barking in the wood that we were going to go into and try and call some muntjac. So hopefully he will go away and leave us to it. Two young bucks just through the wood here, 70 metres away. One of them's just gone to the left behind a tree, but the other one's still stood there, but it's bum onto me, so there's no shot at the moment. Just to the left of us. We just pan round, Emily. Can you see it? Can you see it through here? See if we can find the one that's barking at us. So we shot there was two young muntjac bucks just through here in the open bracken. One of them drifted off to the left, and I think that just went in the cover. We shot the right hand one of the two, and obviously gave a couple of little squeaks on the call, and then there was another one started barking at us over here on the left. So we just saw that fallow pricket and just walked forward, I don't know, 10-15 metres. Just over the top of these nettles here, we just see the muntjac that was barking just started moving to the right. I think it's a different young buck, and wasn't a lot of time to go on the 4 sticks, so just set it up as a 2, because obviously you can use quad sticks as a 2 if you need to, if it's close enough, or you've got to be a bit quicker. Hopefully a good chest shot, and it's just run 30-40 metres to the left, so we'll give it a few minutes and go and have a look. Quite a productive little area. It's another young buck. It hasn't cast its antlers yet. This is its second set of antlers because it's got a little coronet on it. But you can see where the velvet or the skin's starting to swell up around the bottom of the antler, and that will just pop off and the new one will start growing. Sort of good behind the shoulder chest shot. Like I say, it's run 30-40 metres. The only thing we've got to bear in mind with these copper bullets we're using now compared to lead in the old days is they don't put massive holes in the carcasses anymore, so there is a blood trail that comes through there, but there's a lot less blood than there would have been when we were using, you know, lead a year or two ago. So nice. Quite a high shot on that one. It was stood at a bit of a funny angle, yeah, done the job anyway. Another young buck. Little muntjac doe's just stood behind this tree. It's just run off to the edge of the wood there, but it's not a great backstop, so we'll have to leave it. Obviously, as we're walking through here, we've just bumped a couple of muntjac. You can see that the cover's now getting quite high, so an average muntjac's probably going to be standing this high at the back. Obviously the nettles are up here now. Another week they'll be this much higher, so you're really limited to the places where it's open under the trees, where the light can't get to the floor, and it's obviously still quite bare there. So we've got a heavily pregnant rhodo on the left, then a doe kid behind her, and then a nice young 6-point roebuck to the right of her now. See, because she's an old doe, she's still got her winter coat. Just came out of this little clump of trees. This is the carrot field we started on originally. We're back at the carrot field where we started this morning. It's a couple of hours later. We've had 4 young muntjac bucks, seen a couple of others, obviously seen quite a few roe, which is good. Some nice couple of roebucks. So we'll get those muntjac picked up and back to the larder, and that'll be us done for the morning. We've got the 4 muntjac bucks that we shot this morning lined up in sort of age order, really. So we got this is the first one we shot, which is sort of coming up for 9-10 months old. Same with this one. You can see they've got their pedicles, but they haven't got any antler growth coming on them yet. So they're the 2 youngest. This one here, the white stuff coming from the eye, is just a sort of bit of milky eye juice, which the muntjac gets, so that's quite normal, nothing to worry about. And then we go along to the next one. Well, these 2 probably about the same age again, actually, but you can see this one is regrowing its antlers in velvet. It's going to have a little brow tine here, which you can just see coming. And then the 4th one here, like we said in the video, it's going to cast its antlers. This is its 2nd antler because it's got a little ring of coronet around it. The first antler they have is just a single bit of bone that comes out of the pedicle. So when these antlers drop off, he'll regrow. The next set of antlers probably be about that big, and that'll be his 3rd set. It's a couple of hours since we shot them. You can see that there's quite a few flies buzzing about. One of the reasons that I don't gralloch them in the fields straight away is obviously if I'm going on stalking and culling some more deer like we did this morning, if I gralloch that and leave it hanging in a tree, then you know, you can have all flies inside the carcass. So ideally you want to get the stomach out as soon as possible, but sometimes I think it's better to leave it a little bit longer just to keep the flies out of the carcass. So we'll get these back to the larder and we'll catch up next time and see how we get on in June.